Hello, I'm here cultivating joy. Today I am making a video about resilience. What a topic, hey? So, we are gonna speak about and give you practical things and exercises about how to have space within the body for the moment. And the moment can be anything, and I mean anything. The moment can be completely dark, thank you, and completely light. And the whole philosophies and the Tao and the philosophies of the ancient worlds is how do we give space within for that. But that means that when we kind of push away part of ourselves, being like, oh, it's bad to be hungry, we don't allow ourselves to be hungry, or it's bad to be needy, or it's bad. What is happening with the sense? Or it's bad to do something else. We don't allow ourselves the joy of life. And everything else feels like death. So if you are right now listening to me and you feel like the feeling or a thought that makes you feel down and heavy, that's a lot of motorbikes today, makes you feel down and heavy, this is the time to learn how to question those things, question those beliefs, and those heavy feelings and those heavy beliefs can make us feel like death. And none of us want to die while alive, hey? So, what is on the other side of death? If you were not dying or if you're not dead, what feelings, what would you do? And to me, it's I would celebrate. I would just like, despite of everything, I would celebrate. And this is where the wisdom comes. So, how do we feel at our top, or how do we feel in this celebration moment all the time? Well, we learn to connect to our body, to our gut. The gut is also connected to clarity in the mind, and whatever it is, whatever the hard situation and hardship you're going through, I guarantee this works because our perception of reality comes from within. But what comes from within is what we are the channels. So whatever it is we have been consuming, whatever it is we have been listening to, a lot of motorbikes, literally since we were born, we just consume it and we kind of start to vibrate, we start to emanate, we start to become that. So if we have been consuming anger, we start being angry. It's inevitable. We can be angry in a different way. We can be angry passively and we can not show that anger, but it will still be the vibration inside, unless we're a very resilient and wise child, which is completely possible as well because children are so amazing. Development can happen in so many different ways. And so, with this celebration, what do we do? And why isn't the world a massive celebratory space? Because of values. As you know, there are different societies on earth. There are the societies that still use force, and it's on a massive global scale, and there are societies that don't. And the evolution is happening this way that no matter what, those societies who use force, who use coercion, who use the the leader is everything, or like worshiping the leader as a god stuff, those societies that feel forced, and you know the societies I'm speaking about, um, those are inevitably just don't are not based on the truth. So they work, but they're not really how the world really operates. So this is where the conflict management comes into place. And conflict management means learning to listen. Conflict management means saying that, dude, we are in the same earth, we're in the same band, we're in the same group as you. It's the total perspective shift, and it's really important to learn to question things and to be in this perspective. So in some countries, the children in education they've been or in their families they've been given the they've been treated like good, right? So they've been asked questions, they've been given attention, they've been allowed freedom to explore things, and they're not being told that the world is dangerous. Yet I know that parenting can be hard because for children, you need to have a completely different nervous system and awareness, because you need to think that yes, for me it's not dangerous, but my child does not know that this is dangerous. So this sovereignty, this autonomy does not develop till we're older, isn't it? And every year the child changes, every year this development takes place, and every year we have a different child altogether. So this is one thing. And if you are a parent listening to this and you have no time uh, during the day to regulate, well, your child is not going to be regulated. So, in the country that I grew up in, which is East Europe's country, very much east, um, people were chaotic. They were stressed all the time. They were running around. They were screaming at children. Children were beating each other up. And no one knew how to stop that cycle, because no one knew that the alternative was possible. So, people who live in a complete bubble, those are people who just don't develop, right? So it's like stagnant water. If the water doesn't flow, it gets stagnant, right? So there must be some current, whether it's the underground current or the river current. A lot of motorbikes. But the energy and people need to develop. But when people grow up, get their jobs, get stressed, they don't develop anymore, and hence they can't give children as well what they need, and they have the cycles of this not knowing how to manage conflicts, not knowing how to manage relationships. And when I say that my inner self depends on me, I don't say relationships aren't important. I'm saying that relationships are not vital. So I'm saying that whatever is happening, I know how to manage it with myself. Now, there are things that I don't know how to manage. For example, when the mother is giving birth to a child or is pregnant, her hormones change completely. And in these societies, mothers were not really kind of like cared about, even though they were given life. They were not listened to, and people are really numb to listening. People are really numb in their senses in a lot of places. So, this is what I'm doing. I'm here cultivating joy. And I am very much so learning how to embody. And even if you have 20 minutes, mornings are the best times, but it's starting to rain. Mornings are the best times, but it doesn't have to be morning. It can be some other time of the day where you literally just take time to develop connection and listen to your body. And it takes time. It took years for me, and it took years of and it took also illnesses, and it took not understanding my energy, and it took relying and being codependent with people on their energy so I wouldn't die, right? And we do need each other's energies. It's just about how we relate to the relationships and the need of relationships. And all of those topics are really cool to discuss. I would love to discuss that only if we dance together. So if you decide to spend your precious 20 minutes per day with me, listening to these things and doing the practices that I have created, because they have been detrimental, they have been life changing, they have been celebration worthy no matter where I am, right? So in my head, I was like, oh, I love how African people live. They dance all the time. That was in my head, right? It's not reality. And I was thinking that if they dance all the time, they must be joyful all the time. But at the same time, they have a completely different tribal nature connected structures, and they have been, yeah, just killed. And I and I really wanted to save that. I wanted to protect that. But guess what? If you're weak, you cannot protect things. You're not protected. And if you're strong, that you are. And strength and resilience is one. Still recording? Good. And self-doubt is okay, but in small portions. If self-doubt becomes a really big part of your life, you get stagnant as well. So I was like, something is off here. So me trying to protect people does not mean that I don't share my stuff. And I feel like I don't know everything right now, and all of this stuff is my practice too. And I'm so excited to share this with you and with people. And if you feel like joining my I'm here cultivate, enjoy celebration groups, even when it's quite dark. I think the celebration does not mean denial of darkness. Celebration means that we also celebrate and don't deny darkness. And this spaciousness within is what we're looking for. This spaciousness for everything to happen. Spaciousness for everything to happen also implies connecting and listening to the body and seeing what does my body need, the autonomy of it. And if you can't give yourself, or if your relationships can't give you what you need, there are different techniques, like certain techniques, but staying in environments that don't change, that decide to stick to their old values, when there is no more development, when there is no more life flowing, either between people or between societies, is the main thing. So allowing the life to flow. And you don't need to start tomorrow, you don't need to start when you're on a holiday, you start now. You start now changing your lifestyle, incorporating things you love, whether it's dancing, cooking, running. And I am delighted to be able to share these lessons with you, because I feel like this is it, all I can do for myself and for people, and there is nothing else I'd rather be doing. But I don't know about postpartum, or I don't know about certain things that I don't know, because I didn't have the experience of that. So I can only share from experiences that I did have. Mwah! I am so excited to share this with you.